President Ramaphosa appointed me in his cabinet, and I got to understand how government works. To the young people, don't let them use you. Don't let them tell you on the 30th you must remove illegal foreigners. You will go to jail and they will not bail you out. They will be nowhere. The cops are the only people that must remove illegal foreigners. Don't use our children for your political agendas.
Today, Mzansi's youth were betrayed once again. All their hopes and aspirations were buried alive. This time, not by foreigners, but by the very people they elected into government to speak up for them. Remember, today was supposed to be a celebration of National Youth Day. Instead, what happened at the podium will go down as one of the most embarrassing and greatest betrayals in our history. Minister Gayton McKenzie, who has been very vocal in his fight against illegal foreigners in South Africa, stood firm today in front of the nation and denounced his own people while siding with illegal foreigners, the same people who made him popular and helped make him a minister. Now that he's in government, he has forgotten the cries of his own people. This is exactly why no politician can ever be trusted. Dear viewers, I don't want to be the judge. You will be the judge. If you feel this betrayal needs to be seen by every South African on the street so they know who truly stands for them, hit that like button, share this video with everyone you know, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. If you believe what Gayton McKenzie did today is a clear sign of betrayal, comment below. Gayton the traitor, Jabulani. Play the clip.
When the president comes to speak, we want every young person here to listen very carefully. If somebody next to you wants to talk to you, you must tell them to wait, because you cannot miss what the president is going to say. But before we bring up the president, there's an issue that needs to be addressed. And I want to say to the ambassadors, I am so happy that you've come. South Africa is dealing with a very serious allegation that we are a xenophobic country. So I want you to go back today after what I'm going to say. When you hear the term Abahambe, I was the one that popularized that term. I was standing with my people fighting against illegal immigration. We went into Parliament. President Ramaphosa appointed me in his cabinet, and I got to understand how government works. The president listens to many views amongst the cabinet ministers. We debate and we'll come to a conclusion. Now, this president did not start the problem of illegal immigration. He found illegal immigration, it has been with us. But for me, as one of the people that is the loudest about it, this president is the first one that has listened to our cry that we don't want people that are undocumented. We have nothing against foreigners, but they must be documented. We don't hate foreigners. We don't want people here. So to President Ramaphosa, many people are claiming now the changes that government is doing is because last week they started to march. Government don't operate like that. The issue has been on the table of the president. We hear law enforcement must handle this matter. To the young people, don't let them use you. Don't let them tell you on the 30th you must remove illegal foreigners. You will go to jail and they will not bail you out. They will be nowhere. The cops are the only people that must remove illegal foreigners because you don't know jail. I'm speaking as a person that spent my whole youth in jail. I'm not going to sit in South Africa and hear young people are being given instructions on the 30th to hurt illegal foreigners. That one, it shall never happen for as long as I'm alive. We've got a government, there's a law enforcement. If you want to remove illegal foreigners, do it by yourself. Bring your own children so that the cops will deal with you. Our matter is on the table. So I want to be clear. The government is removing illegal foreigners. The government has listened to us. Let us allow the government to do their job. You don't need even to vote for me if you want. I don't agree that we should use violence. We are not a violent people. All we are asking, ambassadors, is for all of us to hold up the mirror. Our people need jobs. Our people are suffering because they don't have jobs. This president is the first one that has listened to our cry that we don't want people that are undocumented. We have nothing against foreigners, but they must be documented. We don't hate foreigners. We don't want people here. So to President Ramaphosa, many people are claiming now the changes that government is doing is because last week they started to march. Government don't operate like that. The issue has been on the table of the president. We hear law enforcement must handle this matter. To the young people, don't let them use you. Don't let them tell you on the 30th you must remove illegal foreigners. You will go to jail and they will not bail you out. They will be nowhere. The cops are the only people that must remove illegal foreigners. Don't use our children for your political agendas. Illegal foreigners must go, but not violently.
Did you just hear the rubbish he vomited out of his mouth? This same man who was busy running his mouth on how he will fight illegal foreigners with his today, opens his mouth wide to criticize March and March movement. Where do we even get these politicians from? Gayton McKenzie is a typical example of what we call stomach politician. Let me play you his former video, where he swore with his life to fight illegal foreigners. Jabulani, roll the clip.
Abahambe! Abahambe! We don't want illegal foreigners here. Where the PA, after we've been sworn in, I'm going straight to Rahima Musa Hospital, where we're going to switch off the oxygen of illegal foreigners. Satani, Kai Ruma di Satani Tedi. The devil sent other devils here to this country to come and sell drugs to our children, to come and sell body parts of our people, to come and take the jobs of South Africans. You will never see these leaders visiting Guguletu, visiting Langa, visiting Mitchell's Plain, visiting Westbury, visiting Valhalla Park, visiting Kraaifontein. But today, they are visiting the Palestinian people that are dying while we are dying, and nobody came to us. We are telling us that our lives mean nothing to you. Abahambe, Abahambe, Abahambe. Call me any name in the world. But I'm telling you today, if you don't have papers in this country, you must go home. Uyahaye, Utamaye. You can't come here. You commit crimes. You are not documented. We can't find you. Tell me, how is that right? How is me asking for people to be documented and to follow the law, which I've not written? How does that make me xenophobic? Now South Africa must always be accused. If it's not genocide, we are xenophobic. The leaders of Africa should ask themselves a serious question. Why is it that your people are running away from you? Before you call us xenophobic, you as a leader must say, why are my people running away from me? They must be around you.
When you finish watching this video, the only question that comes to mind is, what really happened to Gayton McKenzie? But as for me, I'm not surprised because I know South African politicians all too well. President Ramaphosa was asked about the planned march and March movement protests for June 30th, and his response completely broke the hearts of South Africans. Now let's watch the video. Jabulani, play the clip.
Mr. President, thank you for your time. The issue of immigration is at the top of South Africans' minds. 30 June is a deadline that has been set for you. Don't you have your own deadline?
Well, I have intervention measures that are being taken to address the concerns of our people. And as I announced the other day when I addressed the nation, I outlined a number of interventions that we are taking. And those interventions have largely been welcomed by our people as immediately effective and important steps that we need to be taking to ensure that we have people in our country who are fully documented. So, as I said, no South African must take any action against any person from any of our African sister countries. That is the responsibility of government and government officials. So the 30th, the so-called 30th of June, in my view, is not an event that is even necessary because we are addressing the challenges that our people are facing. And we must not allow South Africans to be duped and to be misled by those who want to foster instability in our country. And we will not allow that. So security forces in our country are going to ensure that there is no instability and there's no disruption of the lives of our people. But government is continuing the interventions that we announced.
President Samkela from the SABC, two questions on my side. Is the issue of illegal immigration being used as a political football by some in order to influence the upcoming local government elections on the 4th of November? Then secondly, the hot potato, the interdict you filed, just some of the points you've raised in your court papers. Why the interdict at this point in time? Why not earlier when you ultimately decided to take the report on legal review? Thank you.
Well, just dealing with the issue of the whole issue of the review, that is a matter that is now taking its course. As every South African, including the President, has their own rights in terms of the Constitution, that must be allowed to happen, and the courts will decide. It's not my decision. It's going to be the courts of our country who are the real arbiters of disputes in our country. And so let us allow that process to ensue. Now, with regard to a number of those who are making a lot of noise about these marches that are taking place, there does seem to be an intention to destabilize the country. And clear message is that we are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow the grievances and the concerns of our people to be misused and to be abused by those who have nefarious intentions. Our people have heard the message, and we are taking action and we are implementing the interventions that are in the end going to address those needs.
Mr. President, Slinda Losibata from ENCA, your response to the World Health Organization's head, especially it seems as a disinformation and misinformation campaign about what is happening in South Africa, and I think you've seen the visuals of what's transpiring in Durban. Are there conversations happening with the other countries in Africa, particularly Malawi, that seems to be struggling to repatriate their citizens?
Yes, there's a lot of disinformation. A lot of disinformation that is aimed at tarnishing the image of South Africa. We have explained fully the challenge that we have of immigration in our country, and many other countries around the world, including our own continent, have their own challenges of immigration. The one thing that South Africans are not is xenophobic. South Africans are not xenophobic, and we are addressing their concerns. And I spoke to the president of Malawi just a few days ago, and he said to me, we understand the challenge and the problems that you are facing, and we are with you, and we are there to support you, and we will work with your government to enable those who want to leave and those who may be undocumented to leave peacefully. And that is a commitment I gave him, and I had a very good exchange with President Mutharika on the telephone. And we have also said that we are going to have time to meet. Now, my envoys are going to be leaving to various countries on the continent to deal specifically with the disinformation, with the position that government has taken on this issue. So we are addressing these issues, both the concerns of those who are outside our country and those who are inside our country. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you so
I have
much.
to run.
No, you can't run just yet. Why did it have to take March and other groupings for you to actually start these interventions? I would argue you've lost the room, Mr. President.
No, we have actually been doing a lot of work, changing our immigration laws and also empowering our immigration officials to address these specific issues. And of course, the challenge of immigration that we're facing is in the end an economic one, because those who come to our country are in the main economic migrants or refugees. So therefore, we want the whole region and the continent to address this issue together with us, so that we address the root cause of why people would leave their own country and come to what they see as an economic oasis. And so as we address these problems, we are making advances, and now we are getting more and more stronger as we address these problems. It's not
See you on the 30th? Where will you be on the 30th of June? Will you be in the country?
I haven't checked my diary. Yes, I will be here, home.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. President.
Are you shocked? President Ramaphosa just dropped another fake promise, as usual. Jacinta already warned South Africans about this very same government, and what she predicted is now playing out right in front of our eyes. Jabulani, play the clip where Jacinta warned South Africans about these same politicians.
So what we're dealing with here is a government that is itching for violence. I think for them it's an opportunity to test their powers, because if they wanted to deal with crime and deal with violence and deal with all the problems that we have in the country, all that excitement that they have, they could have used it right now. We're dealing with a lot of crimes and criminals and organized crimes, but I've never seen them so excited to unleash the military. So if our demands are not met, we'll see.
Now that the local government elections are around the corner, so many politicians are going to try to play with your minds just to gain your votes again. Some will pretend, as usual, to fight against illegal foreigners, but in this video, we're separating the sheep from the goats. Now let's watch what one of these leaders said publicly, so you know who truly stands for South Africans. Jabulani, play the clip.
Action SA has made it really very clear upfront, and I think I want to announce it on this day, 16th of June. Very important. Action SA is prepared to in municipalities where we contest, if anyone wants to co-govern with Action SA, 3 are non-negotiable conditions. The first one, you've got to declare corruption public enemy number 1. If Herman Mashaba gets involved in corruption, please don't protect me. Don't cover for me, because Herman Mashaba will not defend you. Secondly, we have a constitutional obligation. When you want to co-govern with us, public services must go to all the communities, regardless whether they voted for us or not. If you're a political party that think that you only want to provide services to those who voted for you, those who gave you the money, then don't invite us into your coalition arrangement. Lastly, and also more importantly, if you want to co-govern with Action SA, just know that municipalities under which Action SA is government, no undocumented illegal foreigners are welcome in that municipality. So if you prepared to meet these 3 demands, all the other stuff we can negotiate, because we know under coalition arrangement I can't get everything. But these 3, then I can tell you, if you feel you cannot meet, then don't even waste your time to come and talk to us.
It seems as if you are saying you're not going to work with your former ally, Helen Zille.
Well, I don't know which of the three conditions she doesn't subscribe to. If she doesn't subscribe to any of them, then she mustn't waste my time to come and talk to us.
On the issue of illegal immigration, where does the ATM stand on this morning?
Look, it should not have taken March and other citizens to march and protest for government to do its work. The fact that when it comes to the people that have gone to Ghana, deported back to Ghana, over 95% of them were illegal in the country. Similarly, the ones that Malawians that are in Sherwood in Durban, also they're illegal in the country. It shows the crisis in government now, because we're basically failed by the government, because the laws that are there are very clear when it comes to migration. The biggest issue that we face, government is not governing. Government has been failing to basically enforce its own laws. That is why then people, out of the frustration of the failures of government, have now taken it upon themselves to actually intervene. So the crisis that we are facing can only be resolved by government, by just enforcing the law. Because if you go, Iman, to other countries, you get very clear messages. Once government sees that you are illegal in the country, they act. In South Africa, there's no action. So that is why there's going to be this term of xenophobia, because people are the ones that are intervening. Whereas in other countries, it is the government through its institutions that are intervening. Here in South Africa, we have only 832 immigration officers, meaning only 832 people can come to you and ascertain your status in our country. That is a clear indication of a government that does not have capacity and does not want to solve this problem, because had they wanted to solve this problem, they would not have employed more labor inspectors than immigration officials, because immigration officers are the ones that deal with immigration issues.
Police must arrest criminals. Whether a criminal is a South African or is not a South African, must be arrested. You cannot loot shops, whether they are owned by foreign nationals or whether they are owned by South Africans. Looting is breaking the law. They must be arrested. Hence, even those who are attacking foreign nationals, when you break the law, you must be arrested. That is why we are making a call to the people of KwaZulu-Natal and the South Africans that they must not take the law into their hands. There is no country wherein ordinary citizens will take the law into their hands. We must deal with the element of criminality, and we must reject criminality element in our society. When you see some of the South Africans committing crime, being South African, you must reject that. You must isolate them. You must report them to the police. Because when they commit crime, crime is not tolerated in our province. The situation here is unfortunate. It's a crisis which really we must manage. And I've been with the people who are here that we must establish a steering committee. We will be doing justice. And I'm happy with the posture that has been taken by our government, the national government, to take a route of deportation, because we can't wait for repatriation if it's going to take quite some time. When we already have 10,000 people plus here, you don't know how many would be here tomorrow and next week. We might have more coming into this place. And it's important that we expedite whatever initiative that is being actually done. I'm happy that already there are trucks from Home Affairs that are waiting to transport them to Lindela, those who are being deported, and even those who will have to be transported as direct. And they have briefed me that they are waiting for 10 buses from Malawi to take those who are going to be taken through the repatriation process.
Is that today,
Sorry?
Is that today, those 10 buses?
Well, they are waiting. They cannot say today, but they are saying they are waiting for that. But what is important is this deportation process, because there is even a virtual court sitting here which is taking place, which is addressing the section 32 regarding the issue of immigration. to afford them an opportunity of being deported back into their country. I think what we need then to do as government is to ensure that this does not, in fact, end up being a disaster. That is why we have the Department of Health present here from the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We have social development present here. We have community safety and liaising present. Because when you talk about steering committee, all those departments will be part, because we want to ensure that the people who are here are not adversely affected by being here in large groups, and even the people of KwaZulu-Natal, they are not affected by the presence of the large groups that are here. So our intervention is meant to assist the crisis situation.
Premier, I heard you talk about a few things, but I want to pick up on this part. You spoke about what's going to happen next, about the buses that will potentially arrive to pick up the Malawians here, but at the same time we're also talking about deportation. At this point, is the process, and Mr. Mabe will know I asked him this question yesterday, at this point, are we still in a position where we're saying as South Africans that we are waiting for Malawians to continue that process of repatriation, or are we at a point now where we're saying as South Africans that look, we need to also pick up on this and start that process of transporting these Malawians?
Various approaches are actually used. Already we had an engagement with the Honorable Councillor and some NPOs in the morning, wherein there is a private sector that is willing to donate buses, more buses to what, yes, the NPOs. We are going to engage with them because we want to assess the situation, want to resolve this situation. You see, when you see people saying we are here illegally and we have heard the call, we are responding to the call, but we don't have the means. If we have means, we must afford them those means. It's quite very important because we are solving a problem of undocumented foreign nationals. Even those who might have their documents having expired, that must be attended to so that the documents will be in fact renewed and they will be here illegally so. Hence, it's important that no one must discourage any support which is given to the process. No one must say they know how they came, they must also find the way of going back. That will be irresponsible of us as the people of KwaZulu-Natal to have such comments. It's important that we solve the problem. When you solve the problem, you do not say, because you are a cause of a problem, I'm not going to solve a problem, because the problem is not a problem for them. The problem is a problem for all of us. That is why it's important that we also play the role where it's possible. Hence, I'm encouraging the NPOs and the private sector that are willing to give support for repatriation to do so. And I'm even grateful for some of the NPOs who have been here from the first day, providing food, providing the tents, and all the support that they have been given because it's a quite very important humanitarian, in fact, intervention which is necessary for the situation.
Premier, you're overseeing the province at a very sensitive time because I think this is just a microcosm of what could potentially happen, right? So this is just one group, these are Malawians here. I've heard from some of the NPOs that others that were at Sycophant Road have now relocated and they're here. So what is the plan going forward? So what are your contingency plans? I've heard the plan for here, for the steering committee. I asked this question because of the issue of resources, for example. Let's assume there's another camp that pops up for Zimbabweans and Mozambicans and others in other places. I mean, are you able to extrapolate what you're trying to do here and there, or what is the bigger plan?
Well, I think from the steering committee, because it involves government, it involves private sector, it involves the NPOs, we will produce a plan that will be taking care of the situation, because as government, we did not anticipate what is happening. Now it's happening, and we must step in to ensure that there is a proper plan. Already, there is an action plan by a national government which seeks to address this. That is why, as the federal government, we are proactive. As you know, that on the 25th, we will be having a dialogue, a bigger meeting, a summit, addressing the very same subject, because we want to ensure that we address even the issue of tensions amongst the African brothers and sisters, whether they are South African or they are from other countries, so that while we address this problem of illegal migration, but we do it in a way that is not communicating that South Africans are anti-other African countries. Our plan must be around that, while ensuring that the people who are willing to live, they are supported in whatever way that is possible.